But I got a TV show.
Yes, family. Yes, family. What's going on, guys? What is up? What is up? What is up? Welcome to today's stream, impromptu stream. Just to go live and see what the markets have been up to this morning. I actually intended on going live way before New York session started, but the way my computer been acting, right? It's just been acting very weird. Files been getting corrupt. So I wasn't able to really start this as early as I wanted to take advantage of New York session open. But I was able to pretty much get my my streaming software, get everything up and running. So we are good to go, family, right now. So either way, we did miss out on New York session open, but we can still at least analyze to see what we can expect moving forward throughout the rest of today. And then obviously going into tonight, and then later, obviously, Asian session, and then tomorrow morning as well. Okay, so that's definitely going to be what we're talking about today, family. Now, just keep in mind, I am on daddy duty. All right, so I might have to get up a few times just to make sure my daughter in the other room is watching TV, right? Because her mom is not here right now. She's out and about running some errands. So I'm on daddy duty, but I'm also on mentor duty, right? I care about y'all just like I care about my family, right? But let's see who we got in the building with us today, family. I appreciate every single one of you guys jumping on last minute and random with this random stream. Definitely means a lot to me. All right, but let's see what we got here in the building. All right, I see we got a lot of y'all. Shout out to every single one of y'all. Let's go take a look at GJ for sure. Let's check out GJ, guys. We can start off with looking at GJ, see what GJ is doing. And then we're going to take a look at a bunch of different pairs. The only pair I've traded at all this week, guys, has been EU, which is why I'm on it right now. But EU has just been, literally catching every move here for EU. Like, I kid you not, right? If you guys are in my telegrams, especially my public one, my channel, I literally been showing you guys that I took the buy yesterday. Right, we ended up taking the buy yesterday from right here. We rode this thing up. Initially, I did want to try to ride it up into our kill zone. That was initially our point of interest. But the reason why I ended up closing out this trade once we did get up into this level was because of it being a level of structure. If we look to the left, guys, this is an area of significance, right? That could be utilized as a point of interest. So because of that, that's why I ended up closing out that trade. But last night I was actually on a call with my business partners, and I told them all, I'm like, man, the way price is acting, although I wanted to go up to here, it seems like this thing could actually potentially go short right from where we're currently at, right? A big reason why I really started to look at that was looking at the smaller time frame and how price started reacting. Okay, so what I was looking at yesterday, guys, we clearly do have, again, this level of structure, level of resistance right here. And then what happened? Last night, we did end up running above that level, right? We had a pretty interesting spike above that level. And although the spike is important, it's the follow through that's more important to me, right? When it comes to really understanding price action and reading price action correctly, you know, seeing this strong move like this, guys, above a key level of structure, but then only for it to get completely erased, followed by a break of structure, right, on the actual impulse, that is literally telling me everything I need to know. Right, so although I was initially trying to go ahead and continue to ride this higher, price action told me to get out those buys and actually start looking for some shorts, and that's exactly what we ended up doing this morning. Well, technically I took this last night, right, but I ended up taking shorts, guys, literally last night at these price points, you know, just going ahead and taking advantage of what I believe was going to happen, and we woke up absolutely in profit, guys. So again, the only only currency that I've traded so far, right?
Yeah, I'm all about my money, baby. I get money,
as
baby.
of right now, right? Big shout out to our newest sponsor, Red Ink. What's going on? Shout out to you. I appreciate you for sponsoring the channel. Thank you so much for showing love and support. Please make sure to go ahead and send me a message on Instagram or via email. What do I believe can actually happen next, right? You know, what do I believe could be the next play here for a lot of these currency pairs? Well, I'm going to start off with EU because that's been my main focus, and then we'll go ahead and get into GJ for all you guys that are interested in GJ. But what I think now, guys, let's go to the bigger picture real quick, right? And let's see what we're really doing here, guys, from a bigger time frame, a bigger perspective. You know, because I truly believe you gain a lot of clarity in market direction by simply going up to a higher time frame. Okay, so I'm up here on a daily time frame, guys, and I'm just analyzing to see, okay, what is price currently doing? What can we potentially expect price to continue doing, right? And how can we align ourselves? Well, again, the overall blueprint was for us to continue shorting. I still do believe we're going to continue shorting. I do still expect a lot of downside here for the euro. The question that we have to ask ourselves now is this bearish pressure that we are now seeing, is this something that can actually go ahead and follow through with bearish momentum? Okay, that's a very important question. Because if this candlestick right here, guys, and we're on a daily time frame, by the way, but if this candlestick does not hold or is not able to sustain this selling pressure, and we end up closing back bullish by the end of today, because we do have 7 hours till the daily candle's over, right? So if this thing ends up closing up back bullish, then we are probably most likely going to go up to this area that I've been interested in, right? Around that 1.008, 1.009. And then from there, I'll still be looking for shorting opportunities, right? So overall bias, guys, is always going to remain the same, right? Until proven otherwise, until sentiment changes. So that's all we got to do is just continue to align ourselves with that. All right, so yeah, that's what I'm at for Euro. I'm very interested to see what we can do. You know, I truly think there's even a possibility, okay? I truly think that there's even a possibility for price to make it back up to this level of structure right here, right? I'm on the 1 hour time frame now, guys. All right? We do have all this key structure levels right here, right? All of these key levels of structure. You know, with this sign of weakness, let me just give me 1 second. Hope that's closed. You have to triple check things when you have a 1.5-year-old in the house. Make sure bottles are closed, make sure bags are, make sure wipies are, it's crazy, right? But again, just looking at where we currently pretty much just broke through, right? Like, again, this is the important thing about price action, guys, right? You hear traders all the time talk about you have to know how to read market structure and price action, but nobody really actually breaks it down exactly how to do that, right? So very simple. You really want to start reading price action when we are at major levels of supply and demand or major levels of structure. So when price does come back up to this level, right, this is where we would read what price action has done in the past, and use that as a way to identify what price action can do moving forward. All right, just give me 1 second, guys. Wifey is calling me, and you know when she calls, I got to answer. Give me 1 second. Hello? Yeah, baby.
Can you do me a favor? I forgot to freaking this morning.
You forgot what?
Can you do me a favor? I forgot to do it this morning.
What? I'm on a live stream. What happened?
Oh, okay. Call me back when you're done. Call me back when
No,
you're
what
done.
is it though?
I was gonna ask you if you could put in a work order for the freezer because it's not closing the right way and everything in the freezer is starting to defrost.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just remind me after this. Just text me. All right. I love you, bye. All right, so now we got that out the way. So, like I was saying, guys, right? It's all about looking at what has happened in the past. Okay, so with me, high probability. Okay, there's difference in probabilities. There's high probability opportunities. Then there's extremely low probability opportunities. Right? Our job as traders is make sure that we are identifying the highest probability as a trader, so that we can actually, start to see some type of results. Right? So when I'm looking at this, guys, and I'm asking myself, okay, I know that overall we are bearish. I know that there is maybe a couple different areas that we could actually go bearish from. But what is the probability of price to actually go ahead and shift from that level right there? I truly believe that there's actually a very good probability, a high probability now for price to come up to this level and absolutely go ahead and go short from, right? Now, reason for that is because, again, in order for us to really have enough selling pressure to break below levels of structure like this, right, there has to be some type of weakness for that to happen, right? Some type of extreme weakness, okay, or a lack of demand for the euro. So that is telling me that we do have a lack of demand for the euro, so we can continue to overall sell this thing off, especially if we are able to see a pullback. So overall, guys, I'm very interested in seeing this 1.001 level, potentially hold and give us an opportunity to actually go ahead and just continue, because we have been bearish. Now, I'm glad that you actually brought that up as well, Benny, right? Because we do have to also keep in mind, guys, we do have a major day tomorrow with the federal funds rate. Federal funds rate, guys, is going down tomorrow. We have the FOMC committee as well as also going to be giving out their projections tomorrow, right? So tomorrow is definitely going to be a very, very important day for the dollar as a whole. And overall, I do believe no matter what happens tomorrow, right? Because again, they are expected to raise the interest rates by 75 basis points, which is pretty much already guaranteed, right? And it's also guaranteed to the point where it could also be priced into the markets already, which is things that we have to really keep in mind. And we also have to keep in mind as well, and this again is, I don't think it's going to happen, but we also do have to keep in mind, guys, that the Federal Reserve could also realistically be super aggressive and raise rates by 100 basis points, right, or a full 1%. That is also something that's on the table. I don't think it's going to happen, but I also wouldn't be surprised if they did start to be a lot more aggressive to really try to get inflation under control. All right, so these are just a few things, guys, that we have to be aware of and we have to pay attention to, because it's absolutely going to dictate what these currencies end up doing. All right, but from a technical perspective, I'm definitely just looking for more shorting opportunities, whether it's coming from this 1.001 or whether it does, end up spiking up to this level and then we go ahead and short it from there. Okay. But overall, I still do like the potential sell-off for sure. All right, continuations for this at least. Okay. Let's see. What if they do a 50 basis points, right? See, now if they do a 50, I think that's just going to cause a lot more fear, uncertainty, and a lot of chaos, right? Because right now, that's going against what their main objective is, right? Because if you understand what the main objective for the Federal Reserve, before we even get into their main objective, right? Like, what is the two main things, guys, that the Federal Reserve has, right? The Federal Reserve they have a few jobs, but they have two main jobs that they have to work on every single year, right? For the state of our economy over here, right? So what are those two things? Who knows in the chat, guys? Go ahead and drop this in the chat, right? Go ahead and drop that in the chat, right? What are the two main important things, the two main important roles that the Federal Reserve actually has? The baby, the light. I appreciate you, Margarita. You must be a mother, Margarita, huh? Pay attention to the baby. What are you doing? What are you doing? Right, so again, the Federal Reserve, guys, their two main jobs, their two main objectives, right? Right. Obviously, right now they're focused on fighting inflation and, dealing with economic weakness, right? But that's not, technically it is, right? But their two main jobs, guys, is for one to have low unemployment, okay? Low unemployment, stable prices. Those are their two main jobs, Like literally, the Federal Reserve and all the policies that they create, right? Whether it's, or the tools that they utilize, whether it's to manipulate interest rates go up or down, whether it's to tighten, ease, right? All these different tools that the Fed has is literally just to keep low unemployment and to keep prices stable. That's literally it. We have low unemployment. We do not have stable prices. So when we look at it from that standpoint and we understand what their main objective now is following that, their main objective is to get us back to a point where we do have stable prices, right? Our economy, or not our economy, but the price of goods going up 8% year over year, that's not stable prices, right? That's crazy. And that's what's going to price out a lot of people and cause a lot more economic hardship, right? And that's what they don't want to do. So their main focus is to definitely get inflation under control no matter what. Like no matter what. Like that's objective number one. And they've said it a million times so far. So if they do something drastic with a 50 basis point hike or with only a 50, that's probably going to cause a lot more fear than anything, right? Because it's going to be it's not going to make sense for them, right? Again, it's pretty much guaranteed that a 75 basis point is going to happen, with the potential of 100. All right, so that's just something we definitely got to go ahead and keep in mind for sure, guys, right? Let me actually go ahead and just update this, right? My stream looks probably crazy because I reused my settings for my Asian session that I normally do. So I got this New York session stream saying Asian session. I'm bugging. All right, there we go. All right, everybody that just jumped on probably like, this dude's saying Asian session during New York. He's a rookie. I just didn't change the settings. That's my fault, right? But I hope that makes sense, guys, right? So again, I see somebody said smart money, right? Renzo, shout out to you for tuning in. I appreciate you, right? So when we're talking about, okay, smart money, you have to understand, guys, that I interpret smart money from a different perspective than what you're going to see here on YouTube, right? Everybody that's talking smart money concepts, right, they're talking from a technical perspective, right? Which, again, it makes sense. I also utilize those techniques. I understand the concept of liquidity. I understand the concept of mitigation, imbalances, fair value gaps. I understand all that stuff, and I do utilize all that stuff. But when I talk smart money concepts, right, it's from a fundamental perspective. Okay, it's from a fundamental perspective, right? Not from a technical perspective. I want to know what smart money is doing based off the data, right? Because smart money is making decisions off the data, right? Not off of just levels of structure, right? Not just off of what's happening from a technical perspective, right? They're making decisions based off the data. So that's what we need to do, right? We need to understand what smart money is doing and align ourselves with that, right? Is my mic sounding crazy? Hold on, let me actually just check this real quick, guys. All right, because I see a few people saying that my mic sounds nuts. So give me 1 second. Let me just double check this mic. And if you guys are gaining value so far, definitely go ahead and smash that like button, guys. We got 80 plus people on, only 14 likes. That means I'm not providing y'all with enough value. Okay, I hear the microphone issue. It sounds like give me 1 second. Yeah, it sounds like there's like a lag. Give me 1 second. All right, there we go. There we go. That should be way better now. All right, let me know how it sounds now, guys. Does it sound way better? Let me know in the chats. Much better. All right, perfect. Yeah, I had one thing over here on my settings messed up. Don't run away. Don't run away. Sorry for the quick runaway. Had to go chase her down. She going crazy over there. Right? But yeah. So let's see what else we got here though. Who started smart money? Everybody knowing it as supply and demand. I think more people interested in learning smart money concept because of how cool the name is. I mean, the founder of smart money, right? Or the person that people say started smart money. That dude is called Inner Circle Trader, right? He actually has a channel here on YouTube, right, called ICT. It's called Inner Circle Trader. He's the dude that pretty much like started the smart money wave. and pretty much started calling it smart money. But he's the one that really did it. You know, ICT, Inner Circle Trader. Go ahead and search him on YouTube. He does have a free channel, free content. So if anybody that's specifically interested in that style of trading, by all means, you know, go ahead and do your thing, right? But that's pretty much what it is. But we've been trading smart money concepts for like 3-4 years now. You know, because we were introduced to it as well, you know, early in the game, right? 3-4 years ago, right? So we've been utilizing the concepts in terms of from a technical perspective. But don't get so caught up on technicals that you're not understanding what the overall data is saying, right? That's the whole point of me bringing this up, right? Don't get so caught up on just the technicals and what price is going to do. And no, understand the data, right? You understand the data first, then the technicals afterwards is going to be so much more easier to actually apply, okay? So much easier to apply when you understand what the data is saying, right? Which is why we have been so accurate as a collective, right? Especially for all you guys that are in my inner circles, in my communities, whether it's the Wealthy Fam chat that's here for my YouTube community or my boot camp community, my boot camp students, my alumni, right? All of you guys, for the most part, y'all is different, right? Because you guys are looking from smart money perspective, like how I'm teaching y'all, which is the most correct way, in my opinion, to do it, right? Because it's going to give us the best ability to be right. It's going to give us the best ability to be profitable. It's going to give us the best ability to predict, you know, overall order flow in these markets. Okay, so that's just my breakdown from smart money. Let's see. Just joined Abel, watching you live from Ghana. What's going on, Cash Coin? Shout out to you. I appreciate you. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at these pairs now, guys. So looking at GJ, and then we'll go right into UJ as well. I got you, Saint. All right, so let's take a look at GJ really quickly, guys, and see what we got here. So overall, GJ is very interesting. This is pretty much the blueprint that I was looking for at the start of the week. This is exactly what I created literally on Saturday. On Sunday, actually, when we did our weekly overview. Yeah, I actually set this thing up, right? But what I would like to see, guys, I'm very interested in some long opportunities here for GJ, right? Like, I'm still very much bullish GJ. We just got to wait for the best opportunity to get in, right? And I truly believe the best opportunity to actually go ahead and get into something like GJ would be, you know, if we're able to go and see price all the way down here at this 161.12 level, right? Literally what I would be looking for, right? It's just looking for lower pricing here because I don't want to enter right here, right? And the reason why I don't want to look for some longs, right? Because if my main objective is to go bullish, I don't want to be looking for no bullish plays here, right? There's no evidence of the market going bullish just yet, right? And this move right here where price is currently at, that's like at the midpoint of the entire bigger range that we actually just had. So I don't want to be entering right here. I want to try to get in at the lowest possible area, right, for a buy. Because if I'm looking to buy something, guys, are you going to look to buy something at a premium price or at a discount? I'm cheap. I need stuff for discounts, right? I don't care how much money I have, right? I'm always looking for discounts. Same thing with trading. So if I wanted to buy GJ, because that's my main objective, my main goal, my main bias, then I have to make sure I'm getting in at a discounted price. So then when price does go bullish, or if it does give us the reaction, no matter what we end up selling it for, it's going to be for a profit as long as the market goes in our direction, right? I hope this is making sense, guys. Very, very important, okay? So if you wanted to buy something, make sure that you are buying it in discounted price points. Now, how do we know if we are in discounted or premium price levels? Well, you want to really just compare your trading range, right? So identify what the last real swing impulsive moves were, right? Which I would say from this example will be this swing low all the way up to this swing high. Okay, swing low. We've seen a massive, massive spike up in momentum to swing high. That is our range. Now, what you want to do is you want to take your Fibonacci tool, right? And the only reason why you take your Fib tool is just to identify where the 50% level is, right? Because when we identify the 50% level, this is telling us whether we are in discounted or premium pricing. Okay. Now, how do we know this? Well, anything below the 50 is discounted pricing. Anything above the 50 is premium. That's simple, right? If it's below it, it's discounted. If it's above it, it is premium, okay? So what do we do with this information? We look for trades as long as it isn't discounted pricing. Right now, we are technically in discounted price zones, right? So right now is a good area. I'm not going to say to just jump in a trade because I still want to experience lower pricing because of the concept of mitigation, and we're going to get into that in a second. But overall, as long as we are below the 50, then yeah, it is very possible for us to start looking for some opportunities to go long and have a good risk to reward with that. So that's comfortable. But the reason why I still think, guys, that we're going to go a little bit lower, right? I really want to see price, come down to these levels, right? Below the 78.6. Realistically, I would love to see price come all the way down to below the 88.6 fib level, right? Because I really just want to see as deep of a possible correction as possible. Right now, when we're talking about the concept of mitigation is telling us that this market is at the very least. Let me go ahead and just delete a few of these boxes because now I see I got mad boxes out here, right? But with the concept of mitigation, right, that is telling me that at the very least, we're going to see price come at the least back down to at least this level right here, right? The top of this range. Now, why is that, right? Well, what is the concept of mitigation, right? What is the concept of mitigation, you say? Well, you have to understand, guys, right? When we are in these markets, right, we have buyers and sellers. Common sense, right? Very simple. Now, when we are actually placing buys or sells, or at least when smart money is placing buys or sells, they actually do something called mitigation, right? Where they will actually mitigate against their positions. So what that means is they will literally sell price right here, right? Let's say, smart money, right? They started to actually take this sell right here, so they entered some sell orders. We know they entered big sell orders. Why? Because price actually dropped. And it actually dropped around almost 200 pips, right? So this is a pretty good drop right there. But all of the sell orders that were placed in here, okay, that actually pushed price down, could still be open, while smart money now decided to place buys right here, right? So they sold here to buy it from right here because they felt it was a more liquid area for them to actually enter all their trades. And then we see the big shot. But the concept of mitigation is the fact that these sell orders that they initially placed to go ahead and push price lower, there's still a bunch of those orders that are still open. Smart money is going to do whatever they can to try to avoid as much loss in these markets. So in order for them to avoid actually accepting a loss on these short orders right here, right, that last sell off before the big push up, they will push price back into that mitigation zone. And the moment that they get below that level, now guess what they're able to do? They're able to go ahead and close out these short orders, right, at break even, or even maybe a little bit of a profit, a little bit of a loss, but it's not nearly as much of a loss as it used to be when they were just sitting in all this drawdown, right? So that's the concept of mitigation, guys, right? And you really want to start identifying these markets, identifying the impulsive move, but also identifying where the mitigation point is. Where can we expect on a pullback? Where can we expect the market to reach towards because of them wanting to mitigate out of those orders that they're still negative on? Okay, is this making sense, guys? Drop some threes in the chat if this is making some sense real quick. Right, because the concept of mitigation is something real. And I've broken it down before in the past plenty of times, right? It's just I never actually went in depth really breaking down, mitigation as a whole. Right, but when you understand that concept, it's going to really tell you where you really should be looking for some opportunities, right? Which is why, for me, I'm not interested in buys unless we actually get down into this range, okay? That's just point blank, period. So that's what I'll be looking for, guys, right? Seeing the market at least come into here. And now when we do come into this level around the 162.5, below that, that is when we really start to reprice action, see what market is doing, see if we're starting to become very choppy, market starts to slow down, then we can go ahead and see a sign of strength. And off of that sign of strength, then we can go ahead and start taking advantage of moves higher. Okay? I hope that makes sense, guys, because, again, this is exactly how we play it. Right? When it gets into that mitigation zone, if you're ballsy and if you can have a massive stop loss, yeah, do your thing. Right? Once it enters that mitigation zone, place your stop and just let it play out. You have to have a massive amount of patience, and you have to be comfortable with drawdown that way. But when you actually analyze it from this perspective, understand that at the very least, we're going to enter our mitigation zone, which is this whole level, this last sell-off before the big move up. That is when we really got to sit on our hands. That is when we really have to start identifying the price action that comes next. And more times than not, if we are going to go back bullish, right, which is what I think is going to happen, we'll typically see something like this, right, where the market does get in here. We see a very aggressive drop, but then price just starts to slow down, right? Whether we're still creating these lower lows or not is irrelevant. Because we're just noticing the momentum, right? The momentum is slowing down. And then again, there's a couple ways for you to take this. You can be aggressive and try to get in on one of the lows, or push back towards the lows, which is a little bit of aggressiveness. Or you can just wait for that sign of strength, right? Wait for that momentum to show itself, right? And the way we do that is by waiting for, one of these little lower highs that gets formed. The moment we see one of those lower highs get broken, that is a sign of strength, and then we go ahead and get involved. Okay? Then we go ahead and get involved. That's exactly how we read price action when we're at key levels. Okay? Being patient, letting the market do what it does, and then us reacting to what we see the market do. Okay, so let's see. What's the elaborate more on mitigation, right? So that's pretty much what it is, all right? It's giving when smart money is mitigating, right? They're mitigating in and out of orders constantly, all right? Because again, their whole objective is to not take too much of a loss. I mean, think about it, guys, right? If you were smart money, right? If you were a market maker, if you had, $100 billion to trade with, right? And you were actually one of these big people that can actually move the markets, and you move the markets in a way that it causes you to go into short-term drawdown on certain positions for the bigger outlook of it, you're eventually going to want to liquidate or at least get out of those bad positions. It's not even bad positions, right? But you're eventually going to want to get out of, those actual trades. The way you do that is by causing the market to mitigate, or at least bringing the market back down so that you can mitigate out of those positions. Okay? So for GJ, I'm still very much bearish. I'm actually, I would not be surprised, guys, because we did actually just sell off of a very interesting level of supply right here, right? We know this is a supply zone because of how aggressively, right, we sold off last time. Since we sold off aggressively last time, when we come back around into that area, we have to start to assume, even if we're wrong, that's fine, right? But the whole concept of supply and demand is to assume that we will start to see supply back up, right? Or an increase in supply pick back up, lower demand for the pound, and that could potentially send us a little bit lower, right? So, that's the concept of supply and demand at the very basic level, right? So, yeah, I think now there is a good chance for price to go ahead and continue bringing us lower, at least for right now for GJ, because eventually I do see us rebounding. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. I'll be looking for some more shorts here for GJ. And for whatever reason, though, if this thing just does not hold and we see a massive push up, then that's fine, right? The market is telling us a different story. We'll rebound, and then we'll just go ahead and start writing it up like that, right? So don't overcomplicate trading, guys. Trading really doesn't need to be complicated. I promise you it does not. Right? You just got to learn what you got to look for, and, just be patient. Literally what it comes down to. Right, but for GJ, yeah, I'm still interested. I'll be looking for that short all day on GJ. Let's go take a look at UJ, right, and see what UJ's up to. So UJ is doing, I wanted to see if we can make it back down to here, but I also wasn't surprised if we actually did start to see this thing go higher from these levels. We are at an interesting level of structure as well right here, right, which is why it's highlighted. But what can we see next though for UJ, right? Like, what is the next play here? Right, because obviously we're still very much bullish. I mean, look at this thing, right? We're still very much bullish, and you guys know exactly why we're still going to be bullish. But for those of you guys that maybe just jumped onto this session randomly because it popped up on YouTube, I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Thank you guys for watching. But a big reason why we're so bullish UJ, just like we're bullish GJ, just like we're bullish AJ, NJ, right? We're just so bullish against the yen, guys, because simply the monetary policies that the Bank of Japan is implementing, right? That's simple. Right, and we're going to continue to remain bullish. We're going to continue to expect yen weakness until the Bank of Japan starts to change course, right? Which is like the moment they start to actually go, raise rates, then yeah, the yen could gain strength. But until then, shit, we're still very much bullish, right? So I think there's still a very good chance for us to continue, right? It could even go from right here, but I wouldn't be surprised, again, because we do have, federal funds rate tomorrow. I wouldn't be surprised if for whatever reason we wanted to spike down into this area of demand, before we actually go ahead and continue going higher. All right, so that's just an outlook here for UJ, guys. Again, please keep in mind, we do have major news coming up this week with 3 central banks, guys, actually, going to raise interest rates, starting off tomorrow with the Fed, the Federal Reserve itself over here in the U.S., so just be mindful of this stuff, guys. But then moving forward, we do have the Swiss franc interest rate decision and the Bank of England interest rate decision, right? So it is going to be a very hectic week this week. Overall, just to keep things simple, especially for you guys that are newer, right? A lot of my OGs, if you guys been watching me since I started live streaming on YouTube here for past 4 or 5 months, I consider you guys my OGs, right? My OGs already know exactly how to play this stuff, right? They know exactly what to expect, off of interest rates going up, off of a hawkish Fed, right? So yeah, that's good to know. But for those of you guys that are newer, right? For those of you guys that are newer, one thing I want you guys to understand, okay? Very simply put, as long as a currency or a central bank is expecting to be hawkish or raise rates, we have to understand that that is going to cause the value of the currency to also go up as well. Okay, so as long as we are in hawkish or in hiking cycles, that is going to value the currency, guys, right? Which is why we have been seeing a lot of bullish demand, is because, you know, we're in a hawkish environment right now, right? The Fed is just raising rates, which is causing the demand for the dollar go through the roof, right? So, again, interest rates going up is going to cause the value of the currency to go up as well, okay? Now, keep in mind, though, when you're trying to trade certain currencies against each other, you also have to keep in mind on certain policies as well, right? Because, again, we have 3 central banks that are raising rates this week. Does that mean, say, the pound is just going to go start flying, right? Like, let's say we're looking at pound dollar, right? You know, pound dollar, guys, is going to be absolutely volatile this week just because, again, we have interest rates for the pound and the dollar. But with GBPUSD lining up, right, the dollar interest rates coming out, we should experience lower pricing overall. But, like I said, the pound also has their interest rate decision. And if central bank is hawkish, then we can also potentially expect the pound to gain short-term momentum, but then eventually go ahead and continue, right? Sup with the big. Yo, y'all keep on reminding me. I love y'all for that, man. Let me see. Let me check on here. What you doing? Everybody wondering what you're doing, making sure that you're not getting into stuff you're not supposed to, right? Yeah, she right here. I appreciate you, Apollo. Right, you must be a parent too. Right, anybody that's worrying about the baby, I know that you guys are parents, and you guys are phenomenal parents. I could just tell, right? So just throwing that out there, right? But overall, yeah, you know, we could experience short-term strength for the pound, you know, once they actually raise the rates, but it's not going to be something that's long-lived, right? It's going to be something that's short-lived, and dollar dominance is just going to continue to come through overall, right? So these are things that you have to worry about and understand, guys, for sure. Let's see. Let's hit the like button 100%. Right. Shout out to that boy Skaggs. Yen has monetary policy too. Every central bank has monetary policy. It's just how aggressive or how lenient they are is the big key. Let's see. EJ sells. Right. Yeah, we could take a look at EJ as well. Right. But again, that's just me talking, guys, about interest rates and what you can expect for currencies to do based off interest rates. So let's go ahead and take a look at EJ and see what EJ doing. Right. All right. So EJ has been very choppy lately. Right, I mean, this thing has been going sideways for the past week, literally the past week, over a week now. And overall, guys, again, similar concept, right? I do expect this to continue, okay? Like, I do expect this to continue going bullish, long term, okay? Do not ignore the fact that I'm talking about long term, okay? And the reason why I bring that up is because look at where we're at in terms of the daily, even the 4-hour time frame. We already seen a massive run up here for EURUSD. Listen, you know when the baby gets too quiet, like I can hear her, but when the baby gets too quiet, you know they up to something, right? So I'm just making sure that at least I can hear her doing something, right? But we're very high up here in terms of, you know, this move that we have, right? In terms of this trading range that we're currently in. So this is something that we definitely have to keep into consideration, because although, yeah, I am all-term bullish, I do expect this thing to eventually go bullish. I don't think we're gonna go from up here at these levels. I would love to see. So this lines up with that EJ sell, Jay, right? Because I would love to see lower pricing for sure before we do look for some longer term buys here. All right. So maybe somewhere back down into this level of structure right here around this, you know, 139 level, 138.5. You know, somewhere around there will be the area that I'll be more so interested in looking for some long term buys again. But for right now, there is actually a very good chance for this thing to actually go lower. So you are 100% right. And especially we're just looking at, like, just look at this price action right here, right? Like, we're in a 15-minute time frame. Let's actually go ahead and go back out real quick. I want to go to the 1 hour for y'all. Right? So look at where we're at right now. What we did is we seen price come up to structure. Okay? And the fact, it's the reaction. This is what I want y'all to get. Look at the reaction that we've seen here on EJ. Okay? It came up to structure. Right? We did have a lot of selling pressure, right? So this could be an area of supply. And the most important thing is the break of structure that we see here, right? So we've seen price come up into this area and then immediately reject, breaking structure to the left. That is clues Okay, especially when we see something like this off of a key level where we could expect selling pressure to come in from. So yeah, right, I do like that setup. This EJ setup actually looks really good, Jay. Right, so if we can see price maybe pull back up, I would really like to see it sell from, you know, this 143.8. You know, shoot, I'm gonna keep this one on my radar. I'm about to pay some bills on your name, Jay. I hope you appreciate that, because I appreciate you for that, right? Because yeah, this could be a very good opportunity here, guys. I really would like to see price come all the way back up to these highs, you know, and give us something like this that we can take advantage of. Right, this will be absolutely juicy. Something like this, and then even potentially target even much lower. You know, I think that this is a very decent opportunity with a very interesting but a very good potential risk reward as well. Okay, we're talking about 5 to 1s, 4 to 1s, 6 to 1s. Those are all great risk rewards. Right, something to keep your eyes on for sure. For me, my stop loss though, this is important. My stop loss, you can have it tight if you wanted to, like right above this swing high, because technically, you know, we shouldn't break this high back up, but the market could still realistically do that just to really retest the highs of this level. So my stop loss is going to be above this high right here, right above where the actual selling pressure really started, just to be safe. But again, you know, there are times where I do put it right above this level just because we did have that break, you know, but overall I'm keeping this one a little bit above, right? So it's going to be a little bit of a wider stop loss, but overall, guys, the risk reward is there. It makes so much sense. So yeah, this one is pretty interesting. Let's see, I'm dead. He said when the baby get very, very good, up to some. No, that's a fact. Right, and if she wasn't right next to me right now, and I don't know what she's eating, what are you eating? Yeah, come on, girl. What are you eating? Yeah. Let's see, I watched all your favorites on. Let's go, Jay. I love that. I love that. Right, let's see, Euro USD sell. Yeah, we could go take a look at that really, really quickly. We did already look at it, and I spoke about it already earlier. But we can talk about it, right? So I actually did catch beautiful sells. Like I'm talking about gorgeous sells, guys, literally last night on Euro USD. And that's coming after buying it from right here. We bought it up. We ended up selling it down, right? And I do think now that there is a very high probability for price to actually go ahead and continue selling, right? But in order for me to get into there, I need to see price come back up to here. All right, so this 1.001 level, that's like the area that I would be very interested in actually looking for some shorts here, guys, on Euro USD to look for some continuations, right? Something like this, right? You know, I think that's attractive. I think it's very, very good probability for it to play out. But again, the market is the market. It's going to do what it wants to do. You know, we can have the absolute best looking setup and still take a loss on it because the market is the market, right? So if the market does end up running up higher, that's fine. I'll accept my loss. I'm only risking about 2% anyways, right? 2% risk. So I'm comfortable if that happens. But all I'm going to be doing is now looking for the selling opportunity from up here, right? Because my bias is not going to change just because I took that short-term sell or that short-term L, right? I took that short-term loss. That just means the market wants to go and give us a little bit of a deeper pullback. I'm still going to be looking for the overall short, okay? Because our bias, again, is the same as always. It's just identifying where from, right? But overall, I'm very comfortable with looking for a short from right here, taking advantage of that. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it is what it is. I don't care, right? I manage my risk correctly, so I don't care about losses. Okay, so that's pretty much where we're at, though. Very, very high probability for the market to react from there, in my opinion. Right, very, very big probability. And if we even start to look at the momentum, right, this little indicator that I like to use, right, because I don't really use too many indicators, guys. I don't even have my moving average up here anymore. I still have it, but the only one that I really, come on, why you always gotta be into everything? I don't get you, little girl. It's like I have to continuously rearrange stuff on my desk, right? Anytime it's on my right side of my desk, this little girl want to go to the right side and start touching everything, right? When I put it on, yeah, I mean, you guys get it. Right, so that's what I'm looking at for Euro. And again, this is something that can realistically happen, guys, today, right? Because Euro right now is pushing back up, you know, so keep your eyes on these areas. Now, for all my smart money traders, all right, again, I do like to give things from a smart money, like a technical smart money perspective, okay? Because the way that I break this stuff down, guys, like, I keep things very simple, okay? But we can also get advanced, right? So when a smart money concept, or from a smart money perspective, where would we like to enter from a smart money perspective? Well, it's going to be probably back all the way up at the highs, right? It's going to have to be all the way back up at these highs. Right, so from a smart money perspective, what you could be looking for in terms of entry is probably going to be all the way up here around this 1.002, 1.003. Right, yo, get off my desk, girl. You bugging out right now. What's up with you? We gonna have a talk after this. We gonna have a talk after this, girl, because you was just doing too much. Right, so from a smart money perspective, what you could probably expect is the market to come up to these highs, right? Again, just breaking it down, right? There's going to be a lot of sellers that are going to be enticed to sell from right there. So we can expect possibly the market to run that high to go ahead and start to liquidate on everybody that's selling so early and has their stop loss short. And then from there, we see that shift to go ahead and go lower, right? Because from a smart money perspective, guys, the favorite pattern of smart money traders is what, right? Especially when we're looking for a shorting opportunity. When we're looking for a shorting opportunity, the best pattern, the most favorite pattern from smart money traders is something like this, right? Where we see the market create this high, this double top, right? The market starts to entice people to look for them shorts, right? Because everybody's trying to sell the double top, only for this market to go ahead and run the double top and then eventually rebound and then go ahead and go into the overall trend, right? Realistically, something like this is really crucial, right? Seeing these highs be created. You know, we run those highs, and then after we run those highs, we go from a higher high to a lower low, right? A higher high to a lower low. That is nuggets, right? So that's really the favorite pattern of a lot of smart money traders, waiting for that manipulation, waiting for that run on liquidity before we actually go ahead in the shift, right? So that's the same as that constant that you can go ahead and look for on EURUSD. All right, let's see what else we got here. Choch and break of structure. Yeah, exactly, right? The change of character and then that break of structure following it. That's key. That's crucial, and that's what all smart money traders usually like to look for. Let's see. I see Erkin really wants that EJ, right? Price about to go to that entry. It's because you probably want to jump right into trades right now, huh? All right, well, let's see where we're at here. All right, so again, same exact concept, guys, for EJ. You know, again, I see it. You know, we are pushing up into that area. You know, again, you know, when price gets up into this area, take the trade if you're comfortable with it, right? Let's see a live entry. I mean, listen, if price gets up into this area that I'm very interested in, then we could take, we could take advantage of it, right? But if price is not there, there's nothing that we can realistically do just yet. Okay, so and I'm just putting this out there as well, Erkin, right? I know I got love and respect for everybody, you know, but whenever I do feel like people are pressuring me to try to force trades, I doubt you're gonna get any. Right, and it's literally just because, again, when I'm trading, you got to understand, like, I'm also trading for myself, right? And what I don't need and what I don't want, again, from just having experience of trading for 7 years and, you know, trading live in front of thousands for 4 years, that public pressure is a real thing, right? And that's one thing I want you guys to really understand and be aware of, right? That public pressure is a real thing, and just knowing that you're taking a trade and trading in front of, you know, people, and then they're going to, it really does something, right? So whenever I feel like I'm pressured to force a trade, you ain't getting it. So I'm just throwing it out there, right? And I say that out of love, and I'm just being realistic with you guys, right? It is a real thing that public pressure is no joke. Right? I did it literally for 4 years, right? For 4 years straight, you know, literally traded live. So I know because my own trading results took hits because I was so focused on everybody else's. So. But just keep that in mind, you know, and I'm pretty sure you guys are experiencing, I know for sure, you know, people like Erkin are eventually going to be mentors as well in this space, Erkin. I know that's probably one of your goals, you know, so just keep that in mind for sure. You know, that public pressure is a real mother junkin thing. All right, so let's see what else we got here, guys. So for EJ, though, you know, again, I really am interested. You know, I really like this. So, again, you know, keep your eyes on it. I'm not going to force a trade, though, just because, but it's there. You know, it's there. All right, let's see what else we got here. Let's go look at what is else. We got UCAD. Yeah, let's go take a look at USDCAD real quick. All right, let's see. So USDCAD, very interesting. Do you guys remember what we were talking about USDCAD last week? All right, actually, matter of fact, not just last week, but we've been talking about USDCAD, guys, literally for the past few weeks now. And the reason why we've been so talking about it is because of where we've been at, right? If we look at UCAD has been in this range, guys, for the past year and a half, right? Where we technically have been bullish here, but it's been very, very choppy, right? Like very, very choppy. And this was very interesting to me personally because I have been so bullish to US dollar, like extremely bullish to US dollar, right? And everything else has also been extremely bullish, right? Or the dollar has been extremely bullish against everything else. And technically it has been bullish against the CAD, but not nowhere near, right, as aggressive as it is against everything else. So when I see price action like this, although the dollar is still dominant, this does give me signs, guys, that the CAD is also pretty strong itself, right? In fact, I actually want to bring something up, right? It's a little bit off topic, but we're going to go ahead and talk about yield curves real quick, right? and bonds and government bonds and utilizing government bonds as a way to pretty much identify what currencies could be the strongest. All right, now we're going to go next level again, family, right? So if you're new to trading, you're probably going to have no idea what I'm about to talk about, right? But I still highly recommend you to pay attention, okay? So let's talk about bonds, and we're going to really just talk about the 2-year bond, right? Because the 2-year bond is what's most attractive right now because of all the fear, uncertainty, and doubt in the markets, right? These 2-year bonds are absolutely going through the roof, and they're literally offering a higher return than longer term bonds, which is normally does not happen unless we're experiencing a lot of economic hardship. Okay. But what we're all doing here, guys, and what we need to identify is what bonds, what government bonds are offering the highest yield, right? Because the government bonds that offer the highest yield, those are the currencies that are going to benefit the most from it. They're going to be the strongest ones because they're going to be the most in demand. So let's take a look at this, right? If you look at my hit list, I actually literally have a lot of these 2-year and 10-year bonds up, guys, for literally the currencies across the board. Okay, and let's look at these. So we have the U.S. 2-year bond is at 3.97%, which is actually pretty crazy. We're literally about to be at 4% bond rate, right, for 2-year government bonds, which we have not seen since 2007, 2008, right? So this is crazy, right? By the way, just seeing it going this high and just going so drastic just really shows us, guys, how much fear, like this just shows us how much fear there is in this market, right? When these bonds are flying like this, that means that traders and investors and smart money and whoever, they have no confidence right now in this market, like at all. Like they really don't, right? This is showing us the lack of confidence that they're in, right? So again, that's just one thing to keep in mind when we're looking at bonds. Whenever bonds are flying, that is not a good thing, right, for the state of the economy. So that's just number one. But number two, let's really look at these. So again, the U.S. bond right now, right, the 2-year bond is giving a yield of 3.97%. That's why the dollar is so strong. Because if we look at this against other bonds, right, that is pretty much the strongest one across the board. Following that, we actually have the New Zealand 2-year bond, which is pretty interesting, right, because it's New Zealand. But their bond is at 3.95%, right, so it's just shy of that. But comes in third is going to be the CAD. Right, the CAD is offering a 3.7% yield on their bonds, their 2-year bonds. Okay, and then so on and so forth. Then goes the Australian dollar, then it goes the Great Britain pound, and then it goes the EU, then it goes the Germany, right, and then obviously the Bank of Japan is just all the way at the bottom of the totem pole, right? So the whole point of this, guys, is that when you understand bonds and you understand how to correlate it, it's giving us an idea as to what currencies can be more in demand. Because think about yourself as an investor, right? And you have $100 billion to play with. Wouldn't you want to invest that $100 billion into a bond that's going to give you the highest rate of return? Doesn't that make sense? Right? So if you want to invest into something that's going to give you the highest rate of return, then the U.S. is going to be just that, which is why the U.S. has been so dominant. Right? It's because the U.S. is offering the highest rate of return right now in terms of government bonds. Right? Everybody runs to government bonds when they want to liquidate their stocks, when they want to liquidate their cryptos, when they want to go ahead and liquidate these riskier assets, they go to bonds. Right? Bonds is a safe haven. Right? So as an investor, and I want you guys to answer this, guys. As an investor, yes or no? Do you want to make the most off of your money? Yes or no? Right? It's kind of a common basic answer question, right? But utilize that same answer that you're about to make and compare it to the actual currencies that we're on. Because the currency offering the highest yield is usually going to be the most strongest one against the other ones. Is this making sense, family, or did I lose some of y'all? Right? Is this making sense, or did I lose some of y'all? Right? And while you guys answer that, drop a 3 in the chat, guys, if this is making sense. While you guys answer that, I got to go check on my little gremlin real quick, make sure she's not tearing the house up. All right, we back. All right, so it's making sense, right? I only see what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people that it makes sense to. Man, Abel, you got to get way better at explaining things, bro. If only 6 people out of 160 understand what I just said. right? I gotta be more. I gotta break it down even more, right? I gotta figure out a way. And that's the hard thing, right? Because when we're talking about a lot of things like government bonds and yields, like that really is a foreign language. I'm gonna be honest, like it really is, right? Because I just now this year really started to fully understand it at a high level. Okay, I used to understand it right in the past, but never at a high level, right? So I get it. You know, this is like a whole completely new language, right? Like new language talk for sure, right? And some of you guys are probably just now hearing this for the first time. Right, so if that's you, if you are not just now listening to this stuff for the first time and understanding how government bonds and fundamentals and sentimentals and all that stuff is important, rewatch this video today, please, and watch what it does for you. Okay. All right, let's see what else we got here. Just clocked in, more Ray. What's going on, brother? Appreciate you. Definitely want the most value possible. I agree. Let's see. It's not you. Everyone should understand that. Yeah, and I mean, I try to simplify it in a way that even if you're just now hearing it for the first time, you at least understand it, right? You know, that's literally I think that's one of my best traits and why I've been so successful in the education mentor space is because I have a knack for simplifying the most advanced things, right? Like that's my thing, right? Like I love taking stuff that was completely foreign to me and making it baby Pip's version for everybody else, right? So that's what I like to do. All right, but that's our talk here on government bonds, guys, and government yields, and just understanding which currencies could be the most dominant, the most, impactful. Just literally just comparing the yields on them bonds. All right, so let's go ahead and see what we got here. I'd rather stack PMs, utility tokens over money. Listen, man, it might be a smart play for sure. GBPUSD could be a sell now. Is that a signal? You want me to throw? Are you telling me to sell it? Are you giving me a signal? Like, what's the word? Like, I don't mind taking a signal. Is that what you're telling me to do? Summer? You telling me to sell it right now? Right? You telling me to sell it right now? Give me your stop loss. Give me your target. Right? Give me all the perimeters, and I promise you I'll take the trade right now. Why? Because I got faith in you. Even though I don't know if I like to sell just yet, I see it. You know, there is a possibility, right? So, if you send me the perimeters, I'll take it on your name. I'll do it. I'll risk, 0.1% on it, but I'll still take it. I'll risk a 0.1% on your name. Let's see. Not just saying it's a good sell now. Listen, man, that sounds like a signal to me. Sama, don't do that because I'll risk it. No, I'm just joking. Say that I'll drop a standard. I'm telling you, Skags. I think Sama wants us to drop some standards on a GU sell. We might have to. I'm just messing with you. Let's see. When does Profit Society drop? That's the best question that was asked so far, right? The number one question that was asked, when does the Profit Society actually drop, right? So before we even go ahead and continue, guys, I just got to go ahead and drop this plug in here. All right, for those guys that don't know, I am in the process of launching something absolutely massive for the trading and investing community, right? So please go ahead and go to profitsociety.co. And make sure to actually go ahead and put yourself on the wait list, all right? Because, guys, we are launching something massive in the next month or so. And trust me, you want to be a part of this launch, all right? Now, I know a lot of y'all, right? A lot of y'all is going to have beta access, by the way, right? A lot of you guys, especially anybody that has like a colored, anybody that's in my inner circles, not everybody in my inner circles. There's a lot of y'all in my inner circles, right? But a good amount of y'all that's in my inner circle, guys, will get beta access, right? You guys are going to get first dibs. You guys are going to get access before everybody else. Literally, like our beta testers are going to get access probably like 2-3 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks before we actually officially launch, right? So y'all going to get all the sauce, all the value up front. Now, the only way that you can qualify for beta access is if you are in either my inner circle, have access to my boot camp, or if you're in any of my business partners' inner circles as well, then you can possibly get chosen, right? But it's not going to be that many people, guys. We're literally only probably choose like maybe 30, 40, 50 people for the beta before we actually fully launch. And that's just to help us get feedback on the product, help us get feedback on the platform, help us identify anything that needs to be changed and all that good stuff, right? But for those of you guys that do qualify for the beta, you will get access to this platform, guys, for a 2-3 week period just so that we could test it. And then you never know. We might give you guys a discount code as well for helping us out, so you guys can get in at a much cheaper price. Or even give you some months off. I don't know. We'll figure something out, right? But definitely make sure you guys are signed up for that. It's going to be next level. Let's see. Thank you for the live session. I appreciate your review. Right. I hope you guys are all getting some value from today's session, guys. I know it's a little bit later. I definitely wanted to do this earlier, right? Like during New York session, like actually like before New York session opened. But it happens, you know. I did not expect my entire OBS to be completely corrupt, and I did not expect to have to set up my entire, like I'm talking about. I don't think you guys understand how much work it is to actually like put up a streaming service or, you know, set it up the way that it is effective. It's a lot, right? So I had to literally recreate my entire streaming setup, like every single scene I had to redo all literally today. But it is what it is, man. But it is a lot. Abel, give us a breakdown on US30. Yeah, let's go ahead and check out the 30, right? Let's check out the dirty 30 real quick, right? So a lot of these indices, guys, are moving very, very similarly, by the way. I mean, they literally move almost, I'm not going to say identical, but they definitely move, guys, in similar ways. Now, for a US30 breakdown, let's talk fundamentals first. Obviously, if we are experiencing a lot of economic weakness, you know, we're seeing it here on these indice markets. And I'm going to continue to expect economic weakness. I'm going to continue to expect overall selling pressure for these indices as long as we are in this hawkish, you know, cycle, right? As long as the Fed continues to expect to raise rates, which we know for a fact they're going to continue this entire year, right? By the end of this year, guys, federal interest rates will be around 4%, possibly depending on how CPI is, maybe even 5%, right? So again, as long as we have this hawkish environment, take notes on this, guys. This is some sauce. This is next level value right here. As long as we are in a hawkish environment, which means the hawkish means that the Federal Reserve is expecting to continue to raise rates. Hawkish means we expect rates to go higher. As long as we are in that environment, we're going to continue to want to sell this, okay? That's just as simple as it gets from a bigger picture outlook, a macro perspective, a fundamental and a sentimental perspective. As long as we are hawkish, we want to experience much lower pricing here, okay? Point blank, period. And I'm not changing that until sentiment changes as well, okay? Now that I got that all out the way, right? What happened? Well, we actually did see, and I actually literally, guys, and again, I kid you not, I actually sent you guys this out. If we look at NAS, let's take a look at NAS real quick. Right, I actually sent this out as well for NAS. Yesterday, I talked about it, or actually at the beginning of the week. And I told you guys that I'm looking for sells on NAS for sure. Right, and I had different areas that we can actually sell from. You know, the first area was this area right here that we actually are selling from. The main area, though, is going to be up here. Right, so I'm still looking for shorts on NAS if we're able to see it up here around this 12,100. Now, for US30, it's going to be very, very similar, right? But US30 actually experienced a much deeper pullback already than what NAS had did. So for US30, what I would like to see now for US30, guys, is to really see how price reacts around this level. Right, if we're able to see price come back up to here, right where we had this little pause in the market right here, and also when we line it up with structure to the left, you never know, guys. This could realistically be one of like very simple head and shoulders type of play. Like I know we have probably smart money traders on here that hate these retail patterns and these retail structures, but this stuff is still real, no matter what anybody says. Right, so again, there is a good chance for price to really come up to this level here for US30, and this is realistically where I would be very comfortable. With looking for an opportunity to go ahead and go short. Okay, so this is my outlook here for US30. I'm definitely bearish. I just need to wait for the next best opportunity, right? I think it's either going to be from right here, but like realistically, it's going to be sell off from right here where we have this confluence, or for my smart money traders, you know, again, I always like to just keep things in perspective from all perspectives. You know, smart money traders might end up wanting to take it from all the way up here as well, and instead of, you know, trying to take it from here. Now, here's the downfalls, guys, to each way. Right. Obviously, if we want to take it from this perspective, which again is to the public retail stuff, right? You know, then obviously you have to understand the consequences, right? You know, what if the market does want to actually go ahead and extend a little bit higher, right? What if the market did actually want to go ahead and retouch, you know, all the way back up to this area of supply, right? That's the only consequences, right? You get in a little bit early right here. It's not even early, but you get in at this structure point and the market just did want to actually wait to that supply zone, okay? But the downfall, right, if you don't actually take this trade from right here, that the market actually does go bearish from right there, right? Because it's very possible, right? Again, I don't care what anybody says. It is very possible for the market to react here and go bearish off of that level. It is 100% possible, okay? But it is also 100% possible for price to come up to this supply zone, right? So for me, what I'm very interested in, I'm going to be keeping my eyes on this level. and I'll be taking a trade on US30, or if I would be taking a trade, I would literally be waiting. Like, I would have to wait for price action to tell me, right? Like a setup like this, I'm being a lot more patient than taking a setup up here, okay? And the reason for that is if I'm taking a quote-unquote retail trader's entry, then I want to make sure that I have confidence in what I'm looking for, right? I want to make sure that we have that sign of weakness, right, with that break of structure to then go ahead and get involved, right? It's a little bit more of a process. You have to have a lot more patience when you're doing it that way. But if you want to trade based off retail techniques and retail patterns and stuff like that, that is going to give you the best chance of being right, okay? Waiting for, that sign of strength or that sign of weakness, that break of structure, that change of character, whatever you want to call it, then you get involved. If you want to trade from more of a smart money perspective or more of a supply and demand perspective, which is what I predominantly do, then I will take this trade as soon as price gets up into here. I'm not waiting for no break of structure. I'm not waiting for no change of character. I'm not waiting for none of that. I'm simply going to be taking the trade because I'm going to be assuming, since it is a supply zone, I'm going to be assuming that we have a lot of unfilled sell orders up here waiting for it to get triggered. Okay, you guys see the difference in that, guys? Because yo, man, I'm giving y'all some value today on this call. Like, this is some next level sauce right here. Like, what I just explained is different, right? Like, literally. And it might go over a lot of your guys' heads, right? But you have to understand, I'm now comparing, like, the two main real reasons or ways that people are analyzing these markets. Either from a retail perspective, utilizing patterns like head and shoulders, wedges, and all that stuff. Or from a smart, what the heck, dude? Where'd you even get these candlelight from? And where'd you get all these straws from? Family, hold your thought real quick. Hold that thought real quick, right? And remind me what I'm talking about. Let me just go make sure the kitchen isn't tore up. Because this girl just came here with mad stuff from the kitchen. Give me 1 second, family. Give me 1 second. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So, again, understand what I just did here, guys, right? I'm literally showing you guys how traders are going to experience this, right? Different groups of traders, right? Retail, right here. Again, there's nothing wrong with that because there is a chance for price to absolutely go ahead and shift from there, right? Especially since we are at, areas of quote-unquote confluence. But for me, you guys know, I like to get in that supply and demand zones, right? Which is why I say that I do trade more so like smart money concepts because of where I like to enter from, right? I want to make sure that I'm getting at the best opportunity, all right? So I would be comfortable actually looking for some shorts from up here, okay? So that is my play, my outlook here for US30. I hope it made sense for anybody that was wondering. And it's going to be very same outlook for a lot of these indices overall, okay? That's where we're at. Let me go ahead and catch up with these comments. How do I get added to the Telegram? Nana, I got you. Did you send me a message? Please send me a message on Instagram. All right, send me a message on Instagram, and I will definitely go ahead and get you added. And if you did already send me a message on Instagram, please send me another one. All right, please send me another one. I'll actually go ahead and check my requests, and I'll go from there, right? Because if you're not a friend on my Facebook, or if I'm not following you, it usually goes straight into the request folder. So I'll go ahead and I'll check the request folder after this. All right, let's see. I'm going to send you a signal for US30. Yes, send me that signal. I'll take that, Christian. Let's see what else we got. AUDUSD holding sells. Let's see what we got here. All right, so AUDUSD, my initial outlook was for this thing to come up to here and then end up selling off, right? Again, this is an outlook, guys, that I created for you guys last week, right, for AUDUSD. I was looking for, price to come up to the 0.677 level and then go ahead and look for some shorts. Obviously, AUDUSD really ain't do that just yet. But still, I personally, even though you said AUDUSD holding sells, I mean, if you think it's going to sell, then by all means do your thing, right? But for me, I have no interest in looking to sell it from right here, right? If I'm looking for sells, again, it's going to be at either major levels of structure with confluence right here, right? Or it's going to be at, or even right here as well could be a major level of confluence as well. Right here as well could be a shorting opportunity. right? But the main thing, again, I'm very big into supply and demand zone, which also does cause me to miss out on a bunch of opportunities, unfortunately, right? But I would really love to look for the short from up here, right? Now, again, I'm not sure if we're going to make our way up there. I'm really not sure, right? Again, I'm not psychic. If I was psychic, I'll be a billionaire, right? But I'm not psychic, right? So I'm not sure if the market's going to get up there. But if we do, I'm selling the hell out of it. Point blank period. I'm selling the hell out of it, right? So that's where we're at. Let's see. I got early access. Yeah, that boy Skaggs definitely do got early access. Let's see. I'm just now trying to catch up to the actual things. Give me 1 second. Are we supposed to get an email when we join the list? Let's see. No, although all we have email. No, everybody that will get early access will receive an email, right? So just keep that in mind. No emails have been sent out. We have not chosen who we're gonna pick yet. But we will update you guys, right? Obviously, we're gonna send out a mass email to every single one of you guys that do actually end up, getting picked. Let's see. Signed up under Abel's. Yeah, that boy Jude under mad people for sure. He in all of our chats. Let's see. Already on the wait list. Let's go, Maurice. Let's see. Finna download it. Is it a subscription? All right. So for the Profit Society, there will be a subscription action, but there's also gonna be a one-time fee option for a product that we're going to offer, right, which is going to be like our courses and stuff. But what we're mainly going to be doing, guys, right, is we're going to be doing live, like just like we're doing right now, all right, but we're going to be doing live calls, like live streams with live trading during New York session, right, and then we're also going to be hosting live education like a bunch of times a week. Like we're talking about at the minimum, right, at the minimum, I would love for our team to do 20 hours a week of just straight content, right? 20 hours a week, okay? So just think about that. 20 hours a week of live value. That's going to be going in depth, right? If you guys think you're getting value, because my main thing right now, guys, is with all this free value that I'm giving y'all, right? I'm making sure that the free value that I'm giving you guys right now, right? Like this information I'm giving you guys right now is far more valuable than the paid information that you guys get anywhere else. Like that is my objective. Right, I want to make sure that the value that I give you guys for free on this channel, on the Profit Society channel, that it is more valuable than everybody else's paid stuff, right? Because when I do that, you guys know what I'm about. You guys see what we're moving, what type of time we're on, right? And it also is going to give you guys excitement for what we really have inside, right? Because although I'm giving you guys a lot of information that is way better than a lot of other people's paid courses completely, you have no idea about the value we're going to give you inside of this platform, right? So just putting that out there, right? Just keep that in mind, guys. Again, I am giving you guys the value that I'm giving y'all is way better, a million times better than the paid content that you see from a lot of these creators on YouTube. Guaranteed. Like I guarantee that. All right. Let's see. Can you tell about gold? Yeah, let's go take a look at gold real quick, right? We haven't looked at gold yet. But for gold, it's very simple. I'm very interested in gold myself. But I want to see a short, right? I'm looking at continuations to the downside here for gold, guys. And the only way I'm interested in it, though, is if we see this pullback, right? Again, I want to get back into a level of structure, an area of supply and demand, something like that, to really help me identify, an opportunity for gold. And I believe the best opportunity to go ahead and get involved here will be to look for some shorts. But that shorting opportunity won't come until we're actually, all the way back up to around the 1705 level, right? So that's my bias here on gold. I still want to see a pullback. I am bearish on this, and I want to see a pullback, okay? The reason why I'm bearish on gold, guys, is not only just because we have been bearish, right? We've been doing these lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. We've been doing that consistently, right, this entire year. But it's just because, again, the environment, right? Literally gold turned around and started to drop the moment that they actually start to raise rates, right? So that is telling me, guys, that gold is bearish during a hawkish cycle, at least for right now. During this hawkish cycle that we're in, gold is bearish, right? So that's, again, I'm just aligning with the tools that's being used by the Fed, right? The data that we're given to identify these things. So I'm still very much bearish because we're still very much hawkish, so I still expect more bearishness for gold. So that's what I'll be looking for. Let's see. Abel, give us a rundown on US30. Yep, did that. Best way to understand bonds. That's where big money flies to safety, 100%. Exactly, Jimmy. Right? During times of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, that's where everybody wants to go ahead and store their money because, it's giving you a guaranteed return, as to obviously what we're seeing with the stock market where everybody's losing value, right? So Range to FOMC, that's why I've been watching. It's very possible. Again, it's literally less than a little bit over 24 hours away for the Fed funds rate and the FOMC for sure. Let's see. Do you stream every day? Right. So I do not stream every single day. I normally stream every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. Okay, so just keep that in mind. Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday during Asian session is when I typically go live. Okay, so I will be live again tonight, just going over what we're talking about right now, just seeing how the market has done over the past 12 hours or so. Right, but that is my consistent schedule, right? That Asian session is usually what I'm on, and I've been doing that for 5 months now, going live every single Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday for y'all, and I will continue doing that moving forward, at least for the time being. Okay, this live stream right here is just something I wanted to do. Right, I really was gonna do this specifically for my inner circles, right? But I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and just give it to the public, right? Let's go live on YouTube and really start to provide that value, right? So, but just keep in mind, in the future, right? In the future, guys, on the Profit Society YouTube channel. Right, on the YouTube channel, okay, we will host certain lives. All right, it's not going to be as consistent. All right, it's not going to be as crazy because obviously the live education, the live training is going to be for everybody. It's going to be a part of the actual platform. Right, we're going to keep that in house. But we do plan on doing maybe one live stream a week for everybody that is on YouTube and stuff. Right, but I don't know. We'll figure all that stuff out. Can you explain EURUSD? Yeah, we looked at EURUSD. Let's go take a look at it again, see where it's at. All right, so EURUSD. Look at this reaction that we're getting, guys. Again, we are starting to see, shout out to that boy Erkin. I don't know if Erkin's still on, but yeah, he was looking for. All of us were, right? We said that there's a good chance for price to go ahead and shift lower. I still think that we still can go a little bit higher, personally, right? We are retesting right now level of structure, right? That could potentially hold. But I still want to see higher. Like, I really want to see price come all the way back up to this 143.79 level, right? So that's me. If we can get up to here, then I'll be comfortable looking for that short. Okay, so that's where we're at for EJ. Really hasn't done too much though. Let's see. What's up with US oil? Yeah. Let's see. Sir, can I scalp oil buys or? Let's go. I don't really trade oil too much. I'll take a look at it. Right, see what we got going on. But I don't trade oil too much. That's more of my guy Skag's thing. Right, but let's see what we're doing. We could just look at it from a technical perspective and see what the market is giving us. So overall, guys, we have been pretty bearish since June. Technically even since March, right? We reached a high over here at around 129 a barrel for oil, which is absolutely insane, by the way, right? $129 a barrel is crazy, right? But we did see price go up to that high. Ever since then, though, we have been experiencing a lot of lower pricing. Right. I'm a little torn between oil, right? And this is me personally speaking, right? Again, I could be completely wrong. But I think, me personally, I believe, right, that there's going to be a lack of supply when it comes for oil, right? And again, this is my opinion, right? If I'm wrong, if you think something else, by all means, it's your opinion. I encourage you to actually go ahead and drop your thoughts and opinions as well so that we can all continue to grow together. But I think that there's going to be a lack of supply coming up very soon, which would absolutely cause, oil to start flying. But the also thing we have to keep in mind as well, guys, is, especially one of the things over here in the U.S., right, is gas prices, right? Gas prices is absolutely influenced by the price of oil. Now, again, one of the big things that, Joe Biden with this administration, guys, like the only thing that they could celebrate on right now, and if you notice, the main thing that they have been celebrating and that they give updates on pretty much every day is the fact that we have been seeing lower gas prices for the past few months. Okay? Because 5 months ago, our gas prices were going through the roof, right? In California, it was like $6, right? It was crazy, right? So they actually started doing certain things, brought the price of oil back down, which obviously caused the price of gas to go back down. So although I do believe there's going to be a massive lack of supply for oil coming up soon just because of everything that's happening, I would also not be surprised if oil is forced to stay lower just for the sake of gas and energy and things like that, right? Because oil does play a big part in a lot of things. But again, that's just me. That's my bias. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. Or I could be right. I don't know, right? But that's just how I am looking at it from this perspective. Just looking at this commodity, looking at what the hell is happening in the world in terms of all these wars and in terms of, what's happening over here in the U.S. with Joe Biden completely removing all of our reserves. Like, he pretty much emptied all of our oil reserves that we had over here in the U.S., which is causing us to have to go, demand oil from, other countries, right? And you best believe these other countries, no matter who we get it from, they're going to tax the hell out of us. Okay, so That's just my opinion, though. Let's see what else we got here. We in here. Let's go. Yeah, shout out to you. Perdón, bro. Hablo inglés. Right? So I speak a little bit of Spanish. I understand Spanish way better than I speak it. Right? Yo puedo hablar español, but I sound mad American when I do. Right? I'm definitely a New Yorican. Right? I'm from New York, Puerto Rican, full-blown Puerto Rican, but I was born and raised in New York. Right? So I'm a New Yorican. So I fully understand Spanish because my parents spoke to me it, but I can only speak basic Spanish. And be honest with y'all, like, I ain't gonna try to act like I'm a Mr. Nah. Right? So, you got a training community I could join now, right? So that's a great question. So the only thing that I currently offer right now, guys, that I give special privileges to anybody that is a part of, is my Pro Trader Bootcamp series, right? So if you guys think that I'm giving you guys value right now in the information I'm talking. Right, I mean, all this value that I'm talking about is literally broken down, guys, in depth, right? In depth in this actual 5-day Pro Trader Bootcamp series. Okay, day number 1 is all about the emotions, which in my opinion is by far the number 1 video. Right, it's by far the one that everybody should be paying attention to. Right, because trading itself is literally all about your emotional control. Right, the most important, most hardest thing to overcome is your emotions. So that's the video number 1, but that's also the least viewed video. Which, if you really think about it, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. It doesn't make sense why it's the least viewed video. It makes sense why most people do not have results, right? Because if the one video that I know for a fact is the most impactful, right, is the one that will take your trading up, but is also the most least viewed amongst all the students, there's a big reason why most people are just not going to see results, right? Because they continue to overlook the importance of understanding emotional control, learning different tricks and tips and stuff like that. But that is, it's up there, right? And then we have a risk management day, absolutely important. Then we have a deep dive into fundamental and sentimental analysis where I go into depth into all this fundamental talk, then technicals and then the bulletproof system, right? But overall, this is absolutely, guys, key here. And this is all information, like I said, that I've been teaching now for the past 5 years, but I've never taught this in-depth of information that I'm teaching now. Okay, because if you can see that, like even on this sell page, guys, like this is me live. Again, for those of you guys that are just now finding me out, guys, just now noticing me, just a little background. I've been training for 7.5 years. I've been training full-time for the past 5 years, like literally full-time. I haven't worked a job in over 4.5, 5 years now, right? All because of this skill set. It absolutely changed my life. But I've also teach and been trading full time, but I've also been a mentor for the past 4.5, 5 years too. Right, I literally came from a previous platform, right, where I was teaching thousands of students. Like I'm talking about thousands of students, right? So this picture right here, guys, was at an event in ATL where there was about 3,000 people, 2,000 people in attendance. I went up there, I did my thing. Right here was a smaller event that I actually held in Pennsylvania. Right, we had a good turnout, just pretty much putting people onto Forex. Then this picture right here, guys, was in Trinidad and Tobago, right? We had over 3,000 people in the Caribbeans, all turning up, all learning how to trade, and really just trying to take advantage of the opportunity, right? So again, the only reason why I bring this up, guys, is just to really show you guys that I'm not new to this, right? I'm new to this. I'm true to this. I've been doing it, and that's why I highly encourage you guys to definitely take the things that I'm saying and really, really fully understand it, right? Because it is a little crazy being on YouTube. Anybody can create content. Anybody can drop a video. But is there value in it, right? Are they credible, right? Do they actually have a track record? Do they have results, right? Do they have, students that have results, right? And that's very important to find when you're looking for a mentor, right? So that's the only reason I bring that up, guys, and break this stuff down is because, again, I've been doing this for a little while now, right? But if that's what you want, this is definitely, guys, absolutely the most important thing to do. In fact, I'm actually running a promo right now, right? Again, a little bit, it's commercial time, family, right? I gotta throw this out there, right? So I am actually running a promo, guys, for anybody that is interested in the bootcamp, right? So listen to this promo that you get. It's next level, right? So for anybody that does actually grab the bootcamp, which you can get 10% off right now using coupon code WEALTH, right? You actually get a whole nother 5-day bootcamp series of recordings that I did, right? You also get a copy of a trading journal, right? Let me actually show you guys the trading journal. Right, so we do have, again, a bunch of copies of the trading journal right here. You guys will also get a physical copy of this trading journal, right? Which is absolutely next level. I actually got a bunch of copies on hand for myself that I could sell to people in my area, right? But it is a really in-depth trading journal, guys, that you guys can also get access to by buying the boot camp. And that's not it, right? You also get added, you also get added into the private boot camp community, where we also hold a live weekly study session every single week. You also get access to my phone number, my personal number, so you can reach out to me directly. You also get a 10-minute, or not a 10-minute, but you also get a video breaking down the key 10 mistakes that most traders make. The whole point I'm saying this, guys, that right now is by far the best time to take advantage of this, right? Because there's a lot of students right now that are probably listening to this that brought the boot camp that are upset, like, Abel, bro, how come we didn't get all that? And unfortunately, you know what I'm saying, this is just a promo. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. You guys know I got something for you guys anyways, and I will continue to help you guys that are already a part of the boot camp and continue to help you guys grow. But this is for everybody that's new, right? So, again, take advantage of it if you want it. You know, the link is in the bio right here. The link is in the description. Use coupon code WEALTH for 10% off. And as soon as you purchase this, guys, send me a message immediately so I can get you added into the chats. I can give you guys all the bonuses and everything that you guys deserve, right? So that's just, you know, it's commercial talk 101 right there. But, you know, I had to do it just because I know the value, right? If your goal is to make $10,000 a month trading, if your goal is to become successful, if your goal is to make a shit ton of money trading, then this will give you the best foundation to actually go ahead and do that. Like, by far. Like, it will give you the best foundation by far to get you to whatever goal financially that you're actually after, right? Because I know that's what we're all here for. We all want to make the money, right? We all want to make enough to either live comfortably, to retire ourselves, retire our wives, retire this, retire that. This is the foundation you need to actually get you to that point where you're actually able to make the money, okay? Let's see. I'm new. I'll buy again, right? Yeah, shout out to that boy Christian, man. He's been going absolutely crazy, right? He's been going absolutely crazy. All right, let's see what else we got here, though, right? I know I just did a little commercial break, all right? But let's go ahead and let me catch up with these actual comments really, really quickly. Abel, I'm looking to buy a bootcamp video, but I'm an experienced trader. Win rate is around upper 60%, but R to R is around 0.8. What video should I get, right? That's a great question, D. Warren. So when it comes to the videos, I mean, again, if your main objective is to do what, right? Get a better risk to reward ratio, right? Is like, what is your whole intention, D. Warren, right? Let me know now, and I'll try to lead you to the right video for sure. What do you do on your free time whenever you're not trading? Spend time with my family, right? Speaking of that, give me 1 second. Let me go ahead and check on the gremlin, right? You just reminded me again, right? Random dude, I appreciate you. Let me go ahead and check on my daughter, right? But for the most part, right, I love to spend time with my family, right? Like, I love to spend time with my family. If I'm not spending time with my family, I'm traveling with my family, right? Because I'm a husband, right? I got a wife. I got 3 kids. Like, I'm a whole family man in this thing, right? So that's my favorite thing to do. But give me 1 second. Back. All right, so let's see where we at. Keep inspiring, bro. Hope everything good in life happens to you. I appreciate that, Jimmy. I really do. Are you still going to go live on here on YouTube? Yes, right? So I will still be going live weekly on my YouTube. Even when we do launch the actual platform, it just won't be as consistent, right? Because obviously I do got to, you know, prioritize those that are investing into themselves, right? So, you know, but I will still do it, you know, of course. And even if I don't go live, you know, I will still be dropping consistent videos, right? Whether it's live or not, I will still be dropping a lot of value. You know, the whole plan, guys, once we do go live, is to still provide value to the Profit Society channel. But also, I'm not going to leave my channel go nowhere, right? Like this right here, Abel Live YouTube channel is lit. We're going to build this thing up. I still want this channel to be over 100,000 subs as soon as possible. So even if I don't do live calls, I'll still be dropping consistent videos, right? It'll just be edited videos that's breaking down a certain topic, though. Let's see. Do you have a Discord or Telegram, right? So I have a free Telegram that anybody is more than welcome to go ahead and get involved. And then I have the private Telegrams for sure. Let's see. Sounds like you cover everything here. Nice content. Keep it. I appreciate that. Like I said, I try to go above and beyond, guys. We're giving you guys the value for sure. Especially if it's a paid content. If it's paid content, right, then I have to, again, my paid, and this is what I really want. My free content that I'm giving y'all now is way better than most people's paid content. So my paid content has to be even better than what I'm free content in, which is better than the paid, right? So, you know, I always try to go above and beyond for sure. All right, let's see what else we got here, though. EUROJPY, you guys want to go UJ again? EJ again? I think you guys just want EJ because you guys want to take some trades, huh? Is that why you guys looking at EJ so much? You guys want to go ahead and just jump into this thing, huh? I mean, this thing is looking like it's turning around a little bit. Now, again, for me, it's just I don't want to take the trade personally, all right, just because it didn't reach my area of interest, But again, like I told y'all, what did I tell you guys about EJ, right? There is a very good chance for this thing to sell off. Like, there really is, right? I like to sell off. I also like entering where I'm comfortable entering from, okay? But I do like the actual sell. It does look really good. Let's see what else we got here. Let's see. Look at USDCAD one more time. Yeah, let's go take a look at USDCAD. All right, so UCAD, again, I'm just very much bullish on this thing, guys. Like, this thing is just running. And I think the best chance is just to continue looking for some bullish plays. All right, so when I'm looking at this now, I'm trying to identify, okay, if we are going to try to get involved here, because clearly we can't do nothing on USDCAD right now, right? Unless you're trying to identify some type of a short, we can't buy. This thing has already been buying, right? We don't want to chase this. But if we can see a pullback down, then we can go ahead and get involved to look for more continuations. All right, so simply put, move back down to this level right here could potentially, right? And I'm only looking at this one because we do have like this little pause in the market, this little order block before we start to pick up, momentum again. So if we do come to there, around that 1.32, there is a chance for price to go ahead and rebound and go higher. Okay. Let's see. Appreciate you. I was with you in the other platform. Shout out to you, Valerie. Let's go. Let's see. Besides the boot camp, how else can we join, right? So if you actually have access to my YouTube community, right? So on my YouTube channel, guys, I also have a YouTube community. I have two communities, right? Two private communities. I have a community for all you guys that subscribe to my YouTube channel, but also are members of the YouTube channel. Grab a membership, which is actually very, very cheap. Like, the cheapest plan is only $4.99 a month, right? $5 a month, right? But that also gets you access into a private chat. But then you also have the bootcamp one, right? So if you just want to get into any private chat, any inner circle chat, then go ahead and join the membership here on YouTube by clicking the join button next to the subscribe button, and I'll send you the link for that specific chat. But just keep in mind, the bootcamp chat does get a little bit more perks. They get a little bit more access because they're obviously paying a much bigger fee. Let's see. Can this deal last till the weekend, right? So I'm actually going to leave it open to the weekend, right? So literally till this weekend is when that deal is running, where all the bonuses and the 10% off and all that stuff is up there. Let's see. I ain't no affiliate, but guys, that bootcamp is fire. Let's go. I appreciate that. Those videos are next. Yeah, I appreciate you guys, man. All of my alumni, man. You guys are the real deal. I appreciate y'all for sure. I see. You are the real deal, man. I'm just trying to do my part, right? I'm just trying to do my part, Burker. One thing about me, especially, everybody that knows me, that been watching me, you guys know that my biggest thing is just to really impact the masses, right? Like, I've always been impact over profit since day one, right? So, yeah, the whole point of me doing this is, yeah, obviously to grow a business, right? Grow my brand, make some money. But the main important thing is to leave an impact, right? Because when you leave an impact in somebody's life by educating them, the money's just going to be a byproduct of that, right? So that's been my biggest thing, is just really helping you guys with, just getting better, right? Really understand what it takes. All right, let's see. I need a better RR big time, right? My stream a bit slow at the gym. We'll talk. We'll break that stuff down. Don't worry, D Warner, right? I'll send you some. If you message me, D, I'll send you some information on the videos I feel like will be beneficial for you. Right, but the risk to reward is definitely going to be under day number 2, right? Risk to reward falls under day number 2 because we do go in depth with risk management, which involves risk to reward, right? So that's just throwing that out there. What do you think about Euro AUD? Okay, let's take a look at Euro AUD. All right, let's go ahead and see what we've been going here. Now, I've been looking to short Euro AUD literally for the past, since last week, guys. Right, I've been looking to short this. It's just the market hasn't given it to us, right? Literally, we've been up in these levels now for the past 4 or 5 days, right? 3-4 days right here. But I was interested in looking for some shorts here for Euro AUD, and it's simply, very simple reason is we've been selling off, right? We've been very, very bearish. We've been selling off here from a technical perspective, but even more important, guys, especially, again, I'm very big on fundamentals, right? So the big reason why I'm still expecting Euro AUD shorts is because I think that the Aussie is just a lot more attractive to hold. Right, if we compare, the Australian dollar interest rates, if we compare the bond yield rates, between these two currencies, everything is going to lead to the Australian dollar being a lot more attractive long term. Matter of fact, let's do that. Right, so the Australian dollar, let's just look at the government bond yields. Right, their yield is paying at 3.3%. The euro, their yield is paying at 1.7%. Right, so just by investing into the euro bond or into the Australian government bonds, is giving you literally twice the return as invested into the bonds for the euro. So that's number one. The second thing, let's look at interest rates, right? Let's go ahead and compare central bank interest rates. It's another big thing, right? So the ECB, the European Central Bank, their interest rate is at 1.25%, while the Reserve Bank of Australia is at 2.35%. So again, you're getting double the return by simply investing into the Australian dollar or into their government bonds, as compared to if you were to invest into the euro or their government bonds. Okay, so I'm very, very more bullish the Aussie as opposed to the actual euro, and that's why we've been looking for some shorts. It's just, again, the market just been playing, right? Has not given us just yet. But I do think that, again, I do think there is a chance, for the market to really end up starting to sell off. I think we just got to wait. We just got to wait for a little bit of more of a sign of strength, a change of character, a break of structure. We need something now, right, to tell us that the thing is actually going to be ready to go ahead and go short. Okay, but again, I hope this is making sense. Did that just make sense, family? Because, again, even that, what I just broke down, is next level, right? Like really understanding how to correlate, currency strength, right? What does most traders do on this platform, right? A lot of mentors, right? A lot of trading mentors. Give me 1 second, guys. Wifey's calling me again. Just give me 1 second. Let me see what she wants, and I'm gonna break some sauce for y'all real quick, right? Like for real, like some real sauce is gonna be broken down. Just give me 1 second. All right, so I hope you guys seen what I just did, by the way, right? Because what most traders on this platform, whether they're your mentor or not, what do? Right, they come here, they type in currency strength meter, right? And then they're trying to use this type of indicator, right? Whichever one you use, whether it's live charts, whatever, right? And they try to figure out what the strength of a currency could be off of something like this, right? Off of a tool like this, where this is telling us the strength right now, currently the strength. It's not telling us what the strength could eventually be, right? If we're trying to figure out overall direction, then we need to start to predict what it could eventually be, right? Not what it currently is, right? So most traders on this platform, most mentors, they're telling you guys to figure out currency strength by coming to one of these things. That's a big no-no, right? That's retail talk, right? That's what most rookie mentors, rookie traders do. Real mentors, real traders, they're going to show you how to compare currency strength by comparing government bond yields, by comparing interest rates, right? But by comparing, certain policies across the board. That's that next level way of identifying strength in currencies, right? So, that's just some sauce I just gave y'all, family. So please take advantage of that for sure. Let's see. New Forex trader here, excited to start trading. Let's get it, man. Let's get it. What do you use the MACD for, right? So that's a great question, right? So I literally only use the MACD for one thing, right? And that is to identify divergence by identifying momentum starting to slow down or volume starting to slow down. Okay, because like this right here, guys, right? This is giving me a lot, even just looking at EURUSD right now, it's giving me a lot of confidence in the fact that we are going to see this thing turn around and go bearish. Why? Because look at the MACD, right? We had the most buying pressure down here at these lows when we finally actually started to reverse. But ever since then, the buying pressure, guys, although we are making higher highs, the buying pressure is easily, visibly getting less and less. That is showing us that the volume or the momentum, the bullish momentum, is slowing down as we get up into a level of structure. Okay, so yeah, even this right here, but this is exactly why I use the MACD, right, to identify these things, right? Identify divergences, identify momentum slowing down, right? And just like how we're identifying the momentum slowing down from the buy side, we can also start to pick up the momentum picking up for the sell side. So we're starting to see, right, that this selling pressure is technically starting to build up. We had this little short term right here, right, a little short pressure right there, but this one is a little bit more. So it's just using those things, guys, is what's really next level for sure. Okay, but that's how I use the MACD overall. All right, let's see. Why'd you start into trading, and how did you? Where'd that go? How'd you become good at it? All right, so I started trading back in 2015, and that's just because I wanted to get something. 2015 is when I really, got into that mindset of an entrepreneur. So I tried mad different things. I tried social media agency. I tried various different marketing platforms. I tried becoming a graphic designer. I tried becoming a DJ. I tried becoming I tried inventing something. I tried mad stuff back in 2015, right? But also one of the things that I did try was Forex. This is the one thing that just stuck with me, right? So, you know, since 2015, we've been pushing, right? So you say, how did I get good? Understand, 7 years, right? You get good in trading, not by you understanding how to mark up a chart. And this is a gem. This is a gem right here I want y'all to understand, right? Yo, this video, by the way, is fire. Like, this training right here is next level, right? We're almost here on here for 2 hours. This is next level, right? But you do not get better at trading by understanding how to mark up charts. That's actually very easy to do, right? You don't get better with trading with even understanding fundamentals. You get better with trading through experience. How long have you been consistently doing that strategy? Have you been consistently working on your mindset? Have you been consistently working on your discipline? Right? That's what it is. It's the experience that's going to get you better with trading, right? It's not everything else, right? Obviously, you always want to continue to grow, but it's the experience that you gain through years and years of watching certain things, seeing how the market reacts, seeing how it responds. That's ultimately going to get you much better overall. Okay? So if you want to get better, just continue putting in the work because you're gaining the experience.
Yeah, I'm all about my money, baby. I get money, baby.
Right? Big shout out to Mr. Golden Arms. What's going on? Let's go, let's go, let's go. Welcome to the fam. I appreciate you being a super supporter and sponsoring the channel. Please make sure to send me a message after this video so I can get you added into the community. Let's get it. Welcome. Appreciate y'all. Can you explain the Dixie a little bit, right? Yeah, so the Dixie itself, guys, is definitely something that I utilize a lot. I love to look at the dollar index, guys, and pretty much see how it's playing around, right? Seeing how it's reacting, you know, because when we're able to identify what the dollar itself is doing, you know, we're able to identify what everything else is going to do, right? The dollar is the currency reserve of the world. The dollar is the most strongest currency. It's the currency in high demand right now. So this is the one that's going to control the overall markets, right? So if we can figure out what the overall controller of the markets is going to do, then we can have an idea as to what we should expect next, okay? So that's really exactly why I analyze the dollar, is because it's giving me the blueprint for everything else, right? But just to keep in mind, the technical thing of the dollar index, guys, is the dollar index is an index that measures the strength of the US dollar against a bucket of other currencies, right? That's what the dollar index does, right? It measures the strength of the dollar against a bucket of other currencies. Okay, so that's how we utilize it. Let's see, not new, just had to update. Let's go. Love it, man. Well, I appreciate you updating the channel. You also got the nice little silver badge next to your name, so let's go, right? Let's go. I love it. All right, let's see. Those losses are wins in the making. Exactly, they really are. Trying everything but Forex and crypto. Yeah, right? I tried everything when I started. I promise y'all, right? But overall, though, guys, right, I think I do have to go ahead and be a parent again and actually spend some time with my daughter. Right, and just make sure she's not tearing up the house, because I'm pretty sure after this session, when I actually do go through the house and see certain things, I'm pretty sure I'm going to find some stuff that's broken and stuff like that, right? But overall, family, I do appreciate you guys. I love you guys so much. I hope you guys were able to gain some value from today's session. Please rewatch this thing, right? Please rewatch. Those that rewatch it are the ones that are actually going to get the results, because there's massive value and gems that were dropped here, right? So I appreciate y'all. I love y'all, right? I will continue to educate y'all. And I'll talk to you guys in the chat for anybody that's in the private community, right? If you guys did not get the boot camp just yet, make sure to go ahead and purchase yourself that boot camp, right? The 5-day Pro Trader Boot Camp series, next level information, next level sauce. Do not play yourself, right? I promise you, this is information that would really take your trading to a whole nother level, okay? And if you want access to, again, to, you know, all those bonuses, yeah, make sure you do what you do. All right, family, I appreciate y'all. I love you, and I'll talk to you guys all a little bit later. Actually, talk to you guys later on tonight, because we back tonight, guys, with some Asian session sauce. Let's get it. All right, y'all, family, love you guys. Have a great rest of you guys' day. Let's get it.